So, can you introduce yourself?
Yes, sir. I'm Shatabdi Pal. I'm from Gangarampur, Dakhin Dinajpur in the state of West Bengal. I have completed education. I have completed graduation in Geography honors from University of Gaur, and I have completed B.Ed from Calcutta University. And you talked about my family background. I belong to a nuclear family. My husband is a businessman, and I have a baby boy. And apart from that, my hobbies are traveling and listening to music. And recently, I will try to join English medium school. That's why I want to learn in this language. That's it.
Right. Did you start teaching there
Yes,
recently?
actually, yes, recently.
What do you teach?
Actually, recently I want to learn in this language. I'm not starting teaching. I will try to join English medium school.
For improving your, for what? I did not really understand that. You have joined a school for learning English or for pursuing your graduation or for pursuing post graduation? For what?
No, actually, I will try to join English medium school as a teacher.
I got it now. So that's why you are working on your communication skills.
Yes. Yes, actually, I have completed all my education in Bengali. So obviously, English is a very fair subject for me, and that's why actually I start my journey like 2 to 3 months ago. So in this time, I'm little bit fluent, but it's a very sometimes my mind is stuck.
It happens. As you said, this is the beginning. Initially, you are going to face a lot of hurdles.
Yes.
And what is the biggest challenge you have?
Actually, to be honest, I go to a school for interview, Techno India Group Public School, but I'm not select in that school because in that time I'm not fluent in this language. So that's why I'm not select, and it's a very bad situation for me, and I feel depressed. But in that time, I realized rudderless life is not a solution. Obviously, I mitigate in that time. I started on my journey, and I mitigate of my fearness, and recently, little bit fluent.
When you realize that you and when you were rejected, what are the steps you started or what are the things you started working on?
Actually, I started have actually I have started in camera in front of mirror. Actually, non-verbal communication is an important. So that's why I put in deliberate effort in that. But I guess everything's going good. But I don't know why. What at the time I got a position, and obviously in that time I waiting.
Hmm. Do you really feel because of your communication skills you are not able to make it, or there were some other requirements, or there were other criteria you are not able to fulfill?
Actually. No, any other criteria? I have no faces any types of difficulties or problems. Obviously, actually, I watching some conversational video on YouTube. I watching some movies in English, and I watching some web series in English. And obviously, I join Hindu tutorial by Nimisha Mansal ma'am class, and every day I join her class because her each and every words and idioms, phrases, expressions are too much impressive. So every day I join her class, and it's a too much helpful for my sentence construction. So in that process, I am improving of myself. But yes, I don't know what position I stay in.
No, but if you are dedicated, if you work very hard, it is explicit you are going to get that job.
Yes, actually, I'm not spending on my time any purposes like Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, anything. All
Hmm.
of the time, I spending of my time with my studying. Actually, I drop my CV every school, every English medium school, so they are inform me any time for interview. That's why I reading NCIT syllabus, and it's a very important for that. That's why, and yes, in that process, everything is going.
What types of students will you be teaching if you are selected?
TGT level.
And what would be your core subject?
My major subject is geography.
Okay. And what are things that you feel you are quite good at now when it comes to English?
Sorry.
When you faced that interview, were there four parts like reading, writing, speaking, and listening? Or was that only based on spoken English?
Actually, I prefer to reading, yeah, and watching some conversational video. In that process, I improving of myself. But sometimes, obviously, spoken English is a very helpful for my sentence construction. And when I make a sentence, so obviously, I when I speaking to someone, different diversity, different culture. So I want I learned from a lot. In that platform, so obviously I appreciate that, and every time I depended on my YouTube. It's a very helpful for myself. Actually, I follow all the videos of yours, obviously, and Rajini ma'am, Karishma ma'am. They are fluency there. Actually, Rajini ma'am used many types of advanced words. It's a too much important when I speaking to someone. In that time, when I used in that types of advanced words, obviously it's a very sending a positive vibes to my opposite person. So that's why I garner some types of advanced word, and when I'm free in that time, I revised in that types of words, and I um, really want when I speaking to someone in that time in that types of words used. Yes.
Right. Whenever you learn, sorry.
Okay, I want to ask for you.
Yes.
Actually, what process I'm get a very fluent in this language.
I would say practice is utmost important. If you practice regularly, you are inevitably going to see that change in you.
Yes,
And
practice very crucial
mhm,
role.
yes, one more thing is there. Don't look at the time, how much time you have spent with this language, and don't be in a jiffy. We often know that the Rome was not built in a day. If you want to be fluent in English, you have to spend a lot of time. And honestly speaking, every time you will feel, okay, I don't know this, I don't know this. If you are interested in learning, if you are not interested in learning, you would feel whatever knowledge I have, that is adequate. So there are two sides to see this.
Actually, I able some vocabulary or grammar. It's a is too much easy for me, but fluency is last 2 to 3 months ago. I'm not fluent in this language. It's a very fear subject for me, but um, in that the reason I started on my journey, and when I started on my practicing every time in front of mirror, in front of camera, then I overcome of my all fearness, and recently it's a very easy for me, and recently I realized English is a very easy language than other languages, because very shortly we are disclosed about anything.
I doubt it. That, as you said, English is an easy language. It depends what you want to learn and what your requirement is and what kind of people you interact with.
Yes.
It totally depends. And when it comes to job interviews, I would like to voice my opinion about job interviews. Whenever you face job interviews, try not to make many mistakes. If you blunder, they would not select you. But if you make a couple of mistakes, a couple of silly mistakes, then it is acceptable. It is good if you use new words. You are going to impress the interviewer, but It is okay if you keep your communication skill plain, or if you keep your English quite plain there. The thing is, whatever questions you are asked, you have to answer in the same way. Sometimes interviewers ask something else and we end up answering something else. That's how we usually face that rejection. If you want to get it at one go, you have to face so many interviews. And when you, and I think if you got that job at one go, you would not work this much hard as you are doing right now. I think, as you said, you have left no stone unturned to grab the knowledge of it, to gain the knowledge of this particular language. So I was saying that you have to have patience, or whenever you are going to face any interviews, just carry a smile on your face and answer in a right way. Do not exaggerate things. If you exaggerate things, you will be in a fix. Sometimes we tell a white lie. Whenever we tell a white lie, we are trapped in that. People are going to ask some cross questions. When you are asked some cross questions and you might not be prepared, you might face the rejection. One more thing is there that you should always bear in mind. Whenever you go for any job interviews, you better practice it or day before that interview or before you face that interview. Ask a couple of questions, or I ask a few questions to yourself. If they ask about yourself, how would you introduce yourself? They might ask about your weaknesses and strengths. They might ask the what I feel is, whatever little I know is, whenever you face interviews, they usually want to check your knowledge about the past tense, about the present tense, because these are the two complex tenses we have in English.
Yes, obviously.
Okay, as you said that you are taking online classes, I think. Am I right? Are you taking online classes?
Actually, since 2 years, I had preparing for banking exams. In that time, obviously, I taking a online session, online classes. But recently, no. Actually, I messaged some types of co-learners and obviously tutors also in that time. And where they are replied to me, in that time I joined through a video call, obviously.
Hmm.
Skype. Uh, yes,
All right. As you said, you already have some co-learners, and that's how you people practice.
yes, yes, yes.
And how do you get that constructive feedback?
Um, yes, it's good. Actually, every teacher informed me one thing, and yeah, obviously they are told me practice is a crucial role. Obviously, when you are maintain a consistency, when you are maintain a persistency, obviously you achieve your goals, and it's a very proper way. And obviously you get a impressive result. So yes.
And what is that one thing you feel it is very difficult to overcome in English? Is there anything that every time you feel, okay, why I'm not able to overcome this problem? Any tense that you end up making mistakes?
Mm, Actually, sir, 2 to 3 months ago, obviously, I feel that. But recently, I mitigate of my fearness a little bit. Actually, I when I practicing someone, and obviously when I speaking to any diversity, any culture, so obviously I too much fluent in this language, and I overcome of my all fearness.
What do you prefer, indoor games or outdoor games, and why?
Mm, Obviously, outdoor games.
Any
Yes.
reasons?
Actually, when I go to any places for outdoor games, obviously it's a very good for our health because we inculcate some environment, years or anything, and we are meeting up any people like they are obviously they are. I don't know of that types of people. So when we are go to outside, obviously we are meeting there, and it's a too much grateful. And yes, actually games or exercise, it's a very good for health. It refreshes our body and mind. It keep our body fit. So always I appreciate that. And yes, childhood memory, actually I cannot remember any childhood memory. I forget that. One thing I can remember, and it's my higher secondary result. It's a too much impressive. Actually my mom, my dad, and obviously my brother is too much ecstatic in that time. And I cannot forget in that moments. It's a too much happy moment for me. And until I did, I remember for that because in that time uh, all my family members appreciate me. So obviously it's a very good memory for me.
What was that appreciation about to you? Did you pass with fly colors? Did you score above 90%?
Yes, 97%.
Oh, that is, for me, that is incredible. Yes, that is good.
But it doesn't matter. I'm not standing in my position. In this time, I'm not will my dream job. Actually, I will try. I will become a good geography teacher. It's my during my childhood. It's my dream. But no. Actually, SSC or any other teaching. Actually, I have completed B.Ed, but SSC is not uh, upcoming, so that's why.
You are saying vacancies are not there. As you have deep knowledge of this particular subject, you can, as you want to teach, you want to share your knowledge with students, you can become a teacher in a private school. For that, you just need to work on your communication skills.
Yes. Obviously, actually, said I will try to join English medium school. So obviously, the different students are in there, and they are very knowledgeable. Obviously, during their childhood, they are all the education is they are completed in English. So obviously, when they are any questions asked to me, and in that time I'm not replied in English. Obviously, it's a very awkward situation. I faces many difficulties, many problems, and that's why I will try my level best. Obviously, I want to learn in this language because when I will try to English medium school, so obviously spoken English is a very incumbent for that. That's why.
That is 120% correct. Do you have any teaching experience?
Uh, no.
How would you handle if you have some students? How do you imagine if it is your first day in school? How would you start teaching, and what would be your strategy?
Yes, obviously, first day, I'm not teach them, and obviously, in that day is a first day for my school. So obviously, in that time, I it's really a short story or anything. I started on my journey in that school, and
Hmm.
obviously, um, actually, I have completed B.Ed. So in that experience, I have because the teaching 2 to 3 months, I teach a school. So every students it's a high school. So obviously I have experienced that, but I'm not teaching any professionally in school. So that's why it's a very I'm not faces any types of problems or difficulties nowadays.
Right.
But art. I did think so, and it's my confidence I handle that because my child is 4 year old and he is too much naughty, too much stubborn, and every time I care with my son very easily. And during my childhood, it's a very easy for me because I can manage all the things very properly. So my family member, my husband, father-in-law, mother-in-law, and obviously my son, everything I can manage. So it's my confidence I can handle every student very easily.
That is good to know. And as you have an inordinate amount of knowledge, why don't you open your own institute? Why don't you run your own institute where you can impart the same knowledge to students?
Is actually not clear. Can you repeat this question?
Yeah, sure. I'm saying that you already have a tremendous amount of knowledge when it comes to geography, as you said. Why do you rely on schools? Why don't you try to open your own institute? There you can have some students and you can train them. That's how you can earn and you can pursue your dreams.
Yes, sir. Actually, I have no interest for tuitions. It's too much. Before marriage, I teach them some students. As it's a too much hectic for me because actually it's a I have no interest for that. That's why I'm not starting of my own institute. Actually, I had no much time. Obviously, when I joined a school, in that time I preparing for that. But recently, I'm not prepare not much time because my son 4 year old and he's too much naughty. So every time I care with my son, that's why I'm not starting in any institute of own. Yes.
Okay. That is completely your call. If you feel you are comfy with that, you can go ahead and you can start teaching, or you can start teaching at your own institute. Or if you feel okay, this is not your cup of tea, then if you feel teaching at any schools can be your cup of tea, you must go for this. Okay, what makes you angry?
Hmm?
What makes you angry?
He thrown up everything. He breaking down everything. He too much naughty. I'm not. Um, uh, I sometimes like angry with my son because he not listen to me everything. I obviously he's too much great in his study, and obviously he's studying carefully, but otherwise it is very very difficult. I'm not handle sometimes, but obviously in that time I realized I am obviously I'm mother, so obviously it's my responsibility, it's my duty. In that time I have patience, and I started on my journey again and again. Yes.
Right. And what about your husband? Does he also shoulder the responsibility of a parent?
Obviously, but actually he most of the time he busy with their works. Actually he's a businessman, that's why. I care with my son everything I have to do.
What do you love about your son? Any habit you love a lot, or any habit you don't like?
Actually I love her starting method. He's
Her or
reading very.
his?
Yes.
You said her or his?
His.
Hmm.
His the studying method is too much impressive, and when he studying it's a very careful, and in that time he is very careful, and I don't love when he disturb to me when I'm studying, and most of the time I'm busy, and when I'm free in that time I spending on my time with my studying. So obviously in that time he's disturbed to me, and in that time it's too much. I don't like that, but
Okay, I
he
can
listens.
understand this. Yes. Whenever
Yes.
you teach your son, do you ever teach English to him?
Yes, obviously. Actually, start, but he's too younger, so they are not able in this language. But actually, he's studying English medium school, so obviously he make a sentence short, but they are not able in this language properly. So after 2 to 3 years, I will try. And obviously, when I speaking to my son, obviously it's English communication. I will try.
That is good. And I think we are almost done for today's session.
Yes. Thank you
Mm,
so
I,
much for connecting to me.
yes, it's my pleasure. Even I learned and enjoy. Till then,
Yes, yes.
yes, practice, and I wish you luck for your job. Whenever you face that interview, I take care.